$150,000. Apparently my lucky day. Well, apparently my luck had finally changed. There I was, a 75-year-old pensioner, 16 days until my next pension payment, watching every penny, wondering if the freezer contained enough meals to get me through. Then, completely out of the blue, a message appeared telling me I'd been chosen to receive $150,000. $150,000. Well, I nearly wore my cup of tea. Finally, my financial worries were over. Oh, at least that's exactly what it wanted me to believe. Now, as regular viewers know, I always refer to scammers as it. People possess empathy. People possess compassion. People possess a conscience. This thing possesses a script. And throughout this conversation, it never once managed to escape from it. That, believe it or not, is one of the biggest warning signs of an online scam. The conversation had barely begun before it wanted to whisk me away from TikTok. Do you have WhatsApp? No. Do you have Zangy? No. Now, my alter ego is 75 years old. Technology and I have never really become close friends. I know how to use TikTok. I can just about manage photographs. Anything beyond that starts looking suspiciously like witchcraft. So I asked, what's WhatsApp? No explanation. What about Zangy? Nothing. Instead, it simply repeated the question. Classic scammer behavior. It wasn't having a conversation. It was simply trying to move me somewhere private where there was less chance of being reported. If someone you've only just met online immediately wants to move you onto another app, treat that as a huge red flag. Honest people generally don't mind staying where you first met them. Scammers often do. Apparently, it had seen a few of my comments on her page. Imagine my excitement. A complete stranger had noticed me. Either I'm irresistible, or it sends exactly the same message to hundreds of people every single day. I'll let you decide which seems more likely. Then it asked, do you have Telegram? Now that made perfect sense to me. I didn't realize they still delivered telegrams. I'm looking forward to receiving one from the king in another 25 years when I turn 100. Nothing, not even a virtual chuckle. The joke simply disappeared into the digital abyss. Because scripts don't understand humor. Eventually, it accepted that I wasn't leaving TikTok. So the next chapter of the script began. Apparently it was 68 years old. From Houston, it had become wealthy. Not through luck, not through hard work, not through business. Just wealthy. And now it wanted to share its blessings. Apparently it wasn't a competition. It wasn't a prize. It simply wanted to give away $150,000 because helping people made it happy. Well, isn't that convenient? I replied, oh, isn't this just my lucky day? That would certainly help with the rising cost of the bills. Then came a lengthy speech about blessings being meant to be shared, helping others, making the world a better place. The sort of motivational quotes you'd normally find printed on a decorative kitchen plaque. I simply replied, absolutely. Silence. Nothing. So I asked, have you gone? Apparently not. It had been searching for photographs of other so-called winners. There they were, smiling faces, huge checks, happy people, supposed proof that complete strangers had become instant millionaires. Oh, how lucky they are, I replied. Then another copy and paste speech appeared. Even a little help can change somebody's life. It really matters to me. I answered, you certainly are changing people's lives. That was sarcasm, because sadly, scammers really do change lives. People lose savings. People lose homes. People lose confidence. Some never trust another stranger again. The emotional damage can last far longer than the financial loss. Which is exactly why I make these videos. Not simply to laugh at scammers, but to expose how they operate. Now, the conversation became interesting. It wanted me to download something called Green Dot. Now, for anyone watching in Britain, Green Dot is primarily an American prepaid payment system. It isn't something most of us use here. Naturally, it kindly sent me a link. Now here's lesson number 1. Never click links sent by strangers. I don't care how convincing they appear. If you genuinely need to visit a company's website, find it yourself. Never through a link supplied by someone promising you free money. I explained I didn't know how to download apps. I'm old-fashioned. My helpful neighbors usually sort all that technical wizardry out. Then came the shopping list. Full name, postcode, phone number, email address. Another huge warning sign. Scammers rarely ask for everything at once. They collect little pieces, like putting together a jigsaw puzzle. Every extra detail can later be used to impersonate you, target you again, or convince another victim they're genuine. I supplied fake details. Then came the email address. I don't use email. I prefer writing letters. There's something satisfying about licking a proper stamp. Straight over its head. Again. Then it wanted to know which payment services I used. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Chime, Apple Pay, bank transfer. The whole lot. I explained I didn't even own a mobile phone, just a tablet. And the only thing I really knew how to use on it was TikTok. Surely, at this point a genuine person would realize they were dealing with someone who simply wasn't technologically minded. Not this thing. It simply repeated. Open a Green Dot account. We can proceed. Open a Green Dot account. We can proceed. Like an old scratch record. By now I genuinely needed the toilet. I also fancied a sandwich and another cup of tea, so I told it I was popping to the store. Immediately, what are you buying? Oh, a birthday card for my lovely neighbor. I knew exactly what was coming. You can buy a Green Dot card while you're there. Apparently, it would cost around $150. Now isn't that fascinating? Only moments earlier, I was apparently about to receive $150,000. Yet somehow, I first had to spend $150 of my own money. That, ladies and gentlemen, is called an advance fee scam. It promises you a fortune, then quietly asks you to pay first. No genuine prize works that way. Ever. Then came the backup plan. If they don't have Green Dot, buy Apple gift cards. Or Steam cards. Gift cards, the favorite currency of scammers worldwide. If anybody claiming to represent a celebrity, lottery, company, or charity asks you to buy gift cards, walk away. Off I went. Well, first I went for a wee. Then I washed my hands, made myself a sandwich, put the kettle on, had a nice drink, caught up with a few friends. Eventually, I wandered back. I told it that Green Dot cards don't exist here, but I'd managed to buy an Apple gift card instead. Then I decided to make things rather uncomfortable. I'm worried. I've put every penny of my pension onto this card. That's £200. I've got 16 days before my next pension. I've hardly got any food. My heart's racing. I've got pain in my arm. I don't know if I'm having a heart attack. Now, any decent human being would stop everything. Forget the money. Forget the prize. Forget the card. They'd ask, "Are you all right? Do you need an ambulance? Please phone someone." This thing? Nothing. It simply wanted the numbers from the gift card. That told me absolutely everything I needed to know. Eventually, courtesy of Google Images, I sent it a photograph of a scratched Apple card. Completely fake. It wasn't happy. Apparently, it wanted the receipt. I threw it away. I never keep receipts. Again, I told it I was frightened. Again, I mentioned my heart. Again, I explained I'd spent every penny. Again, I mentioned I hardly had any food left. Nothing. No concern. No compassion. No humanity. Just the receipt. At that moment, the mask had completely slipped. The caring benefactor. The generous stranger. The person sharing blessings. Gone. All that mattered was getting access to the money. That is perhaps the biggest lesson from this entire conversation. Scammers don't see people. They see opportunities. To it, I wasn't a frightened 75-year-old pensioner. I wasn't someone with chest pain. I wasn't someone who had supposedly spent every penny of his pension. I was simply a code on the back of a gift card. Nothing more. As always, I reported the account to TikTok, blocked it, and waited for the outcome. Despite the conversation containing multiple classic scam warning signs, the report was not acted upon. That's frustrating because online safety depends not only on users reporting suspicious behavior, but also on effective moderation. While no platform catches everything, Every missed scam account is another opportunity for someone vulnerable to become the next victim. So let this be the takeaway. Never move conversations to private messaging apps just because a stranger asks. Never click links they send you. Never buy gift card to claim a prize. Never hand over personal information to strangers. And if someone you've never met suddenly offers you $150,000 for absolutely nothing, ask yourself one simple question. If they are really that generous, why do they need your money first?